Ho ho ho! I missed the Christmas, and who gives a shit? But there was one Christmas present, even though I don't usually participate in Christmas presents. There was one present that Steam made to me, and it is, ironically, something I already owned, but I forgot I had owned. It's Cortex Command. Have you seen this game? Look at this! Look at this fucking game! Oh my god! It's I played this like 10 years ago, and it was in an alpha, and it was so unfinished, and I remember downloading all kinds of crazy custom mods for all kinds of crazy weapons that you could buy on the in-game interface, and it would be outrageous. And now I got it on Steam, and look at that, it's still unfinished. How is it still unfinished after 10 years? Oh my god. You look at the Steam trailer for this game, and it's the developer complaining about how unfinished it is and how unfairly it's been judged for how unfinished it is. What a brilliant concept. And apparently they've not made an update for a year, and now they've created a new game that's I don't even know what that's called. It looks like basically a polished version of Cortex Command, but more streamlined, which is what this game kind of needs to be streamlined. But then this game doesn't have any content. That's the issue. It's so weird that this game now, and it's got absolutely no content, but it's got all these features. But the features are kind of pointless because there's no content. What a conundrum. So basically, I haven't looked at the scenarios. Maybe the scenarios are interesting, but when you click at campaign, basically it shows you this world map, and you can click on it, and then you can send your invasion troops, and they'll attack it, or, well, they will attack it, and it will, well, they're not really going to do anything, because basically all they're going to do is just stay there. And then the next step, it's kind of turn-based, but then the battles are not turn-based. It's a very interesting concept. So basically, your troops, they stay there, and then you allocate them money, and then they use that money to build bunkers and such. And then when the other player chooses to attack it, you play them. So basically, all the terrible bunkers that the computer has built for you, that you're gonna have to deal with them. And the fact that, well, there is a way you can build it yourself, but I found that it's like the worst building game of all time. It's just the clunkiest editor of all time. How ridiculous. So you can get by using the auto buy function, I guess. But in this game that I played like 10 games, and they went predictably. And now I've played this game thinking that, oh, I'm gonna finally record it. I've won a few games, and now I know what I'm doing, and now I'm gonna record this, and this is the footage I'm gonna use for my talk about Cortex Command. And it turns out that everything was completely unexpected. I never had the faction that I got. It's like some kind of Ronin soldiers. Apparently just some kind of Rambo soldiers. And it's pretty cool. And then, what the hell are these enemies? They're like really heavily armored robots. And I have absolutely no way of dealing with them because they're super tanky. Which is crazy because the last campaigns I played, I won them fairly well. They never managed to chase me down so well. It's almost as if they had learned. Could it possibly be that this game has learned that I tried being out in the open and fighting it, and that didn't work. And then what I've learned is that I bore it down, and I just bore it myself down and set my units to be automatically digging. And then what happened is that, well, now my hypothesis is that the game has learned, and now it's used these heavy armored dudes because they'll be just fine for digging. It's not like they've got aerial combat or anything. Not like aerial combat even works way well. Yes, I was just thinking about that, because I played like 10 games and all I got is like light soldiers shooting weird energy weapons. And now it's just really heavy soldiers. I wonder if there's ever gonna be crazy robots. I've seen there were some kind of pictures of robot crabs, but I've not been able to play them or anything. I guess I should play this new game that Data Realms, the developer, has been making. They're only like $10, even though I've already, like 10 years ago I gave them $10 so I could play the alpha. Now I paid $1 on Steam to get that alpha again, even though it's thank God it's not even advanced. There's not been much change, even though your soldiers are a lot smarter than they used to be, because they used to just be completely dumb and they would shoot each other because friendly fire was on. And I'm not sure if they even... What even happened? I don't even know how that old game worked. Maybe it was like a wave-based system where you just had to just stick around and then the enemy soldiers would just send wave and wave after you. I have no idea how that game previously played. It's crazy. But yeah, now it's got all these... It's got the campaign, which is basically a really interesting game mode, but it still gets samey after a while. It's always you attack their base or they attack your base, and it's always the same. And you just send out robots that dig down and they defend themselves. I don't understand what kind of faction he must have rolled, because he's got all kinds of crazy weapons. There's a weapon that shoots a bullet that shoots bullets on its way, and it's like, oh my god. And you see my soldiers, they're spread out in a line, and then he just shoots that bullet that shoots more bullets over them, and they all die. It's terrible. I don't know, man. I played it before, and I actually won a campaign, and now has the game learned from my achievements, and is it now countering me? Is this the ultimate 4D chess? this game? What is even happening? Have any of you played Cortex Command? What a crazy feature. This game that I've played as a child, and it's still no better than it was back then. I mean, it's like marginally better, but you'd think it'd be done by now. Are they even still working on it? Is it this unfinished game now? And even the Steam trailer for it says, oh, this is an unfinished game, beware. But we've made it in a time before early access was a thing, so it's not publicly marked as early access, but it's really early access. But that was a year ago. What happened? Well, tell me what you think of Cortex Command. I mean, look at it. It looks so cool. You can dig down, and there's tubers in the ground, and then there's gold. You can use the gold to buy more soldiers. But when you buy soldiers, the game doesn't pause. And it's really clunky to select the right soldiers. It always has that stupid idea that you want to buy pistols. I don't want to buy pistols. I want to buy the most effective digging tool and the most effective shooting tool, and I don't want any pistols. Even though I know pistols are actually technically useful, because your guns, they actually get hit by bullets and then the guns are broken, and then if you have a digger and no pistol, you're kind of screwed. But I think you're more screwed if you don't have a digger, and the constructor is the best digger because you can also build. It's all crazy, and every time there's different weapons. I don't know what each weapon does, and sometimes you get a weapon that turns out to be a grenade launch and you blow yourself up, and it's all crazy. I guess I'll have to play it some more to find out what everything does, but who knows if I've got interest in doing that. It's hard to tell. Oh, well, Merry Christmas, Cortex Command. My god, what a fucking time you've been in development for. Can you believe they actually still worked on it last year? And are they still working on it now? That means they've worked here for 10 years. My god. I mean, I've been working on Pro Mouse for like 3 years, but then I'm working on something else now, and that's completely different. And it's... How can you work 10 years on one game, and this is all you've got to show for it? Oh my god. Even though there's a lot of great things in it, but it's just the actual gameplay just doesn't have them, and it's also chaotic. But then again, maybe I'll get used to it, and maybe it'll be amazing. I mean, previously I had won a campaign, and I thought, oh, this is it. This is all there is. I'm just gonna be playing it like that, and I'm gonna win the campaign. But now, in this video, you've seen me win one battle, and now I've lost like 3 times in a row, and it's really crazy. But the thing is, there is no customizability. You don't get to choose what your troops will bring. How do they have sniper rifles when they're on an assault force? It's so crazy. Why can't I pick what my starting troop will have? It's crazy. They all got fucking sniper rifles and stuff. Sniper rifles have like 2 shots and they don't even seem to be that lethal. You'd always be better off with a rifle. An AK or something. And AKs are real cheap, so... Well, I'll just pick an AK, I guess. But then again, there's this crazy flamethrower and this crazy flak gun that I've never seen before, so it's all amazing. I don't know, do I want to go right back to playing it, or do I want to play all the other games that I bought in the winter sale? Well, you should probably check this game out, because it's only $1 right now. If you hurry up, and if the sale hasn't ended already, it may have, who could tell? Oh yeah, the Cortex Command. Subscribe!